So 1.11, the exploration update has been released, and it is so fun. But what is it? What's the future of Minecraft? What are they gonna do with 1.12? Is it gonna be an amazing new update that adds just so many new things, or is it going to be an update that adds a lot of new things to things that already exist in the Minecraft world? I, for one, I'm excited to see what's next because I did enjoy 1.11. I thought it was really cool, the new sort of like genre of like dark magic, I guess you could call it, that they've started to explore. Before this, I mean, the witch was kind of all that we had for things that are kind of in that genre, like ghosts and like powerful whatever the villager guy does. He like claps his hand, like the thing comes out of the ground. Those are so cool to me because I've been waiting a very long time to get creatures like that because I think that they're just like I feel like they're really exciting, and the mobs that we're starting to get. Like if you look back to when the Ender Dragon was released, he's a boss, right? What did he do? He flew around and hit you. Now they've updated him to like breathe fire and stuff like that. But if you look at how Minecraft has come along, now we have normal mobs who do special things and have like little things come out of the ground. They summon other mobs. Like that's really cool. It's cool where Minecraft's going. So now we have bigger possibilities for the future and things that we can add. And I was playing Minecraft the other day, and I've got these dogs on this world, you see. And I was thinking, I love these dogs. I love these dogs. And I was thinking, I wish they were smarter. Like, they're great. But I wish that this, and I wish that. And then I started brainstorming, and now I've sort of cut out some of the more unreasonable, more of the unreasonable suggestions. And I think that I've come together with a list of suggestions that I would love to see in the next Minecraft update. Also, this footage that's playing right now is not live footage. That is pre-recorded, so don't expect me to like react to it or anything like that. Alright, now I'm gonna make a statement before we start. Stay till the end, because at the end I have built a temple that I think would be really cool. It's like a new boss kind of a temple. Kind of like the Elder Guardian, so it's like a temple with a boss inside of it. That's not exactly the hardest boss you've ever faced. So stick to the end. It's really cool, and you can also download that temple, which you'll see it. It's really cool. So the first thing I want to talk about, obviously, this is a video about dogs. More species of dogs would be nice. Like if you think about if because wolves where they spawn is I feel like it's a good place for the wolf because if you look at it, it's like furry. And it looks like a like something that would be in like the taiga forest or taiga, however you pronounce it. That's where it spawns. But imagine if sometimes, not a lot, because a lot of wolves spawn in the taiga forest. But if like you'd find a lone dog, that let's say it's like a brown dog with like white paws or like a white tail, things like that, in for instance, a grassland biome or like a savanna biome, and then you find a husky or something like that in like the snow biomes. So I feel like that would be kind of cool, just to have more species of dogs because there's a lot of different colors of cats. Maybe tweak the model a little bit. I mean, you can't really do a husky with the wolf model that we currently have. Things like that are just something to consider before I go into the rest of this because I feel like that would just be really nice. Just have different species of dogs. Some could have bigger health, some could have more attacks, some could be faster, some could be slower. Things like that. Now, what do we have in dogs right now? Right now, dogs, what you do, you find them when they're wild. If they're wild, they will kill sheep and rabbits. So that's something I found out when I tried to make a farm. And you tame them with a bone, then you can make them sit and stand. They follow you and fight for you. That's what the dogs do. Now, I feel like this can greatly be improved upon with simple things that would just make it more worth having a dog. First thing is, or the second thing I guess, is whistles. I feel like it would be really cool if, yeah, you could sit and stand them normally, but what if you had a whistle that, let's say you like right click the whistle and it has a little menu that comes up in the bottom right corner or something like that, and then instead of scrolling through your menu bar, you scroll through like the options of different whistles that you can do, and then so you can still run, you can still control everything except for scrolling, and then right click to exit it or left click to select something and exit it. So crafting recipe, I think that would be my suggestion for crafting recipe is 4 pieces of iron, 1 piece of redstone, and 1 piece of sugarcane for like a reed. And you guys can see that's what the crafting recipe would look like to get the whistle. Now the commands that you could do would be stay, come, so basically a sit stand thing, except if you're far away you can do it. hunt. So if there's rabbits, or if they add something like mice, then you can just have them go hunt them and then bring the resources back once they kill them, which is something I'm going to discuss a little later in this video. Guard. So let's say that you had a room full of diamonds and you had a mischievous little brother who likes stealing your diamonds, or you have a problem with mobs getting in your house. Alright, so what you do is you set your dog next to the door, and if anything, and then you set him to guard mode, you whistle him to guard mode, you can leave, and let's say if anything comes within like a 7-block radius, he starts growling, and if you're within a 50-block radius, you can hear it, and you'll know that something's trying to get into your house. I feel like that would be a little thing that wouldn't be hard to implement, but it would just be kind of cool. It'd be another option. And then also, I will also get more into this later, but let's say that the dog goes and hunts, he comes back with the meat, then you can whistle him to drop the meat. So, and I'll go more in depth into this idea a little bit later, but yeah, that's something that you could do, so we could bring the meat back to you, whistle him to drop it, and take it for yourself. And this is the command, this is the whistle command that I want so badly. Alright, so you have 2 options to hurry animals right now. Hold food, and have them follow you, which, if you've ever done this, it's so stressful, especially if you're going over long distances, because they don't want to follow you, they just get distracted so much. Or you can have a lead. At the same time, this is a very slow process. You have a lead, and it breaks 1,000 times before you finally get your animals home. I feel like I've found an alternative to this, a herd command. So let's say for every dog, it can herd 3 animals. So you whistle at the herd, it goes to the nearest 3 animals, and it like runs behind them, back and forth between them, and then it makes them follow you. Boom. 2 dogs, 6 animals, herd them towards your house, make a farm. Easy peasy. That would be so cool, because dogs do this in real life. You know, the sheep herding dogs, things like that. Maybe you could have this specific dog species could do this. You know, maybe the wolf wouldn't do this, but maybe, you know, a beagle would. But I feel like if they did add different dogs, it would be better to have dogs that are more, like, that are less, you know, small dogs and more stronger dogs that wouldn't be kind of like selective bred kind of dogs. Anyways, I feel like that would be an amazing thing. And if you think, like, oh, well, people could abuse it. People could have, like, 100 dogs and have, like, 300 animals. Who's going to do that? I mean, if you really think about it, there's no need for any more than 2 dogs. So, I don't think there'll be many people abusing it. Even if you do abuse it, it's, you know, it's not something that you can, like, amazingly, like, rank up in the game and, like, go destroy the Ender Dragon if you have more animals. So that would make farming animals and having animal farms and animal shelters, whatever you want to call it, that would make that a lot easier and a lot less stressful and just kind of cool to watch your dog, you know, do stuff like that. Another cool thing would be if dogs had a sleep animation. And this would occur if you could craft a dog bed or just have like a set place for his home. So basically a dog bed. And you could craft it as you see on your screen. Now, basically, it's like a smaller version of your bed. And if the dog went to go lay in the bed, like maybe you could whistle to, or just like right-click the bed, I don't know. Maybe it would just go automatically when its health was low. It could be an alternate to feeding him to reheal hunger. So he could, or reheal health. He could reheal health if he's sleeping, maybe. I feel like that could be a cool compromise. Now, this is where I'm going to get more into him carrying things to you. What if, this is just a little thing that I think would be so cool and cute to see a dog do. If you could, after he's tamed, because if you try to feed him a bone after he's tamed, he won't take it. If you could give him a bone and he would hold it in his mouth, and it would actually like be like a model of a bone in his mouth, and he would just walk around with it. Now, this is how it would work. Basically, he would drop it after 5 minutes of holding it, or when he's commanded. So if you command him to drop it, he'll drop it. Or he can also drop it, or he will drop it when he goes into attack mode. So you don't get a dog holding a bone or going after a zombie, because that would look weird. The dog would drop the bone. It could slightly reheal his hunger if he's just like gnawing on a bone, or, you know, something like that. And then once he drops the bone, you can reclaim it. So if he went out hunting, he could, you know, you could have 3 dogs, set the ball to hunt mode, they could go kill sheep, grab the meat, not really the wool, but they could grab the meat, bring it back to you, then you could whistle for them to drop it, and then you could have, I mean, this would be a cool thing. This would be so cool. It would make, you know, getting resources easier, and you could kind of hunt with your dogs, and not necessarily have to punch something to make it go get it, or you could just have it so that, like, it wouldn't really go after zombies or things like that, just, like, more animal related kind of things. Last thing I'm getting into is faster dogs. We need faster dogs. Okay, 2 things about this. First of all, the dogs, like, let's say the dog's radius of following you. So it stands still until you go, like, beyond 7 blocks away from it, then it comes to follow you. That's its, like, follow radius. I feel like they should decrease that, because if you're running, which I do a lot, your dog's just teleporting behind you. It's like you feel, I'm like, oh, I want to be like running through the jungle, have my dog by my side. No, it's basically you running and the dog teleporting to you. So if they made that smaller, then he could be following you more. And if he was faster, so let's say slightly faster than the player, then that would compromise. He could be next to you or a little bit ahead of you, probably next to you or a little bit behind you, actually, because if you ever watch a dog walk, every time they come up to jump over a block, they like pause and then jump up. So if you had it so that they were a little bit faster, then the time when they were walking on flat land could kind of compromise over the time when they were sort of jumping, because it takes them a while. And the dog would also run faster, so the dog would sprint with the player sprints. I don't know why that's not a thing. I feel like it would be a lot better if the dog would sprint next to you, because then you could run and have your dog next to you still. That's just something that I feel like they definitely need to add at some point. Alright, now for the temple and the boss. Now, I'm showing you footage of what this temple looks like. I'm going to show you the temple first, so that when we talk about the mob, you can know how it's basically going to work. So the temple is a stone pyramid with a room on top. Very simple. It looks good. It's got the little spruce biome vines. This would spawn in giant taiga. I think that's how you spell it. Taiga. Anyways, I'm gonna call it taiga biome. I try to get the pronunciation. I think that's the pronunciation. Spawn the giant taiga, so with all the big trees, looking real cool. On the top, it's got 4 golden blocks and 1 diamond block. So this is what you're working for. There are also little chests sort of on the sides that are kind of hidden in the waterfalls. They look really hidden. When you go to open them, a dispenser shoots an arrow out at you, and the design for the redstone is pretty straightforward, pretty simple, more simple than like the jungle temples. The valuables, which are the 4 gold blocks, 1 diamond block at the top, let's say that they only appear at night when there's a full moon. And if you never noticed this, I was surprised when my brother, first of all, never noticed that the clouds moved, and second of all, he never noticed that the moon actually has cycles, which it does. So if you notice that, good for you. If you haven't noticed it, new information. Boom, there's a full moon, there's a half moon, there's a crescent moon, and then there's a new moon as well. Well, that's what there is in Minecraft for the moon stages. So let's say that the valuables only appear when there's a full moon. So let's say that you are venturing and you find the temple and you camp out and you just sort of make base there and get ready for a boss battle until it's time. That's cool. There's nothing like that in Minecraft. There's nothing like you have to wait for it to be the right time to actually go in and take something. And I feel like 9 diamonds is a lot, but it's motivation to do A, to wait, B, to fight this boss, which you'll see he's not going to be easy at all. But I think it's going to be worth it. This will be enough motivation to get someone up there to fight him. The boss wolf mod, or the werewolf. I mean, it could be called either or. I've seen werewolves in games now that aren't humanoid. They're just wolves that are big and strong, or they're human-looking wolves. They don't turn into humans. So maybe Minecraft can start, or can continue that trend of sort of breaking away from the traditional werewolf and making a wolf, kind of like the Mo Creatures wolf. I mean, something along those lines. I love their wolf. It's not overly complicated. It looks so good. It looks so fantastically scary and strong. Something that like that would be so cool to actually be the boss. Maybe a little bit bigger. I mean, maybe it could come in different colors. I think the Mo Creatures one might come in brown, black, and white. I was always just imagining a white one. Maybe some more colors could be okay. Maybe not, though. It's up to Mojang if they want to add this. So slightly bigger than a player, so it just has that dominant presence and sort of a terrifying presence. And again, this thing only appears when it's midnight. He's guarding his little stash of gold. Now, he could sleep. This is an idea. He could do the sleeping animation that the other dogs have if they were to add this. He could have the sleeping animation that they have until you disturb him, and he'll sleep on top of it, so you can't exactly get the gems without killing him. And how it will work is he would have 3 attacks. The first one is a jump attack. So you know how the polar bear rears up, same as the horse? Let's say it doesn't land like that, and it's called the jump attack. That's just what I've called it. It deals an average amount of damage, but has the farthest knockback. Now look at this temple. You get hit off that edge, most of the damage is going to come from you falling. So that's something to consider. You might want to get some feather falling on your boots, so that whenever that happens, it won't hurt you as much and it won't kill you. So that's the first attack that you could have. A paw swipe, which again, they're starting to get more and more complicated animations for attacks, which I think is cool. I think that could fit well with this. Paw swipe, have you ever seen a grizzly bear, like swipe at something? Basically that. Now this deals more damage than the jump, but it has less knockback. So it's more damage, less knockback. Third attack is the bite attack, which deals the most damage. Because, I mean, it's a bite, it makes sense that it would deal the most damage. but it has the least knockback because, again, it's a fight. Now, I don't think that this guy should have the normal amount of knockback, like when you hit him, because that would be kind of weird. So, a little bit of knockback, not a lot, like barely enough to really notice it. That's just something that I wanted to say. Imagine that there's a mob up here. It's real cool, but imagine you start walking away and he follows you. That wouldn't work. Let's say that he stays within 5 blocks or 6 or 7 blocks of the actual diamond block. So he hits you off and he goes back to guard. So it's not like you can like divert him and then and then he won't be able to get you. So these are my ideas for a new update. I feel like this would be so cool. Like if I saw this stuff, especially the whistling stuff, that and the boss, I would be so happy. I mean, it's unique in my opinion. I feel like it fits. It's not something crazy. It's not something that I've ever heard anyone ever talk about. There's so many great things in Minecraft that have a lot of potential, but I feel like aren't exactly used to the potential that they could be used to. And this is an example with the dogs. Now, if you want me to make a part 2 kind of this on cats, I mean, that's the other pet in Minecraft, right? So if you want me to do a part 2 on that, just leave it in the comments, and also leave your suggestions in the comments for a update. I might do a video on it, and if I do, I will feature you in the video. I will feature your comment. Now hold on, don't leave. Before you go, just wanted to say, if you liked the models of the dogs, like the actual pet dog thingies, you'll see a picture of one of them. Go check out Doggy Style. That's a mod. I will have a link in the description to that mod, as well as the wolf, the wolf that I praise. Mwah! It's beautiful looking. That's from the Mo Creatures mod, and there will also be a link to that in the description below, as well as if you want to download the Pyramid Temple Thingamajiggy that I made, there is also a link to download that. You can use that if you want in adventure maps. Just don't repost it under your own name, and if you post anything with it, whether it be a video or just like another project, like let's say you modified it to be like in an adventure map or an adventure map, please just leave a link to this video in the description of wherever you post that. If you do that, then you are free to use it. This video is the start of our, not reboot, we took a long break. The FNAF project, if you didn't see it, it's taken forever. This video is going to mark the start of us uploading regularly once again, which I'm very excited for. I cannot wait to get back to uploading regularly. It's just been busy. We haven't exactly been doing a lot of the FNAF video, but we've just been really busy with Thanksgiving coming up and a lot of different things like that. So, all that aside, last but not least, squad out. See you later.